Hey everyone, welcome back to day 12 of the Reprogram Yourself 30-day challenge, where every day I am teaching you a tool or a technique or a concept that's really going to help you to actually reprogram it so that way you're manifesting on autopilot. So as you can see, we've really done a lot of NLP techniques. We've gone over a lot of them because NLP is one of the most effective modalities to really help you transform your life and to really get into your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind acts as one big supercomputer, right? Like, there are programs that have been installed in your brain and they are either helping you to get to what you desire or they are not. And by now, you've probably started to realize that your unconscious mind doesn't just live in your head, it's really in your body as well. And your nervous system is also very important, and your energy is also very important. So every day we've been doing something that's actually scientifically proven to truly get into your brain or in your body, release energy, or to change a programming. But we really have to make sure that it's our mind and our bodies that we are calibrating, that we are really reprogramming. And the reason why I'm saying this today is because today we're talking about something that I know that you have heard of, especially in the manifestation world. I kind of have like a controversial opinion on this topic, but it's not that my opinion is controversial. It's just that, like, I know what I'm talking about, and I know the science behind it, and I understand how your brain actually works. And I understand that it's super trendy to be like, just affirm this, just say this, just think positively. But affirmations are really just like barely scratching the surface. If you're just saying an affirmation and you aren't feeling into it, and if you aren't believing it, that's when they aren't that effective. And honestly, if you don't believe the words that you're saying, it's actually been proven to cause more resistance because it activates the stress response in your mind and in your body. You always hear me say that your thoughts and your feelings are a feedback loop, and that's really the energetic signature that the universe is responding to, and it's matching whatever frequency you're at. So when we say affirmations, we really want to take it a step further. We really want to get embodied in the energy and to truly believe it. And so how do we do that? We actually change our physiology. So this is why I always am hesitant to be like, just say the affirmations, because there's a lot more behind it. And there's actually a way more effective way for you to use affirmations. And this is called incantations. In NLP, again, we're sticking with the NLP. In NLP, this is called an incantation. You might be like, I don't really get what the difference is between an affirmation and an incantation. Well, an incantation actually allows you to have a transformative experience because we are shifting your physiological state while also saying verbally out loud the incantation and genuinely getting into a state where you believe the incantation while you are saying it. If you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, he talks about incantations and that this is something that he does. If you aren't familiar or you don't know his background, I feel like everyone knows who he is, but he was trained in NLP, and so he takes a lot of these principles. And there's actually a lot of successful people that use NLP principles, not just in their own life, but also when they're interacting with other people. It gives them really great leadership abilities, and it's actually a really great tool that's used in sales. So Tony Robbins will talk about a lot of these principles, but this is one that you will hear him talk about because he's often quoted saying, I don't think that you should stand in front of the weeds and say there are no weeds. There are no weeds. And I love using that example because I think that's what a lot of people are hoping that affirmations will be. Like, it's just this instant Band-Aid fix and I can just say something and like my reality is just going to shift, like poof. And it's like, it doesn't really work like that. The idea of saying an incantation is you're actually getting into the physiology and into the state of being your most confident and powerful self. And while you're in this state, you are speaking out loud an incantation. So because we are tying movement of the body with changing your energetic state, your physiology, and also tying in the language of the incantation, that's where we're really hitting it from multiple angles. And that's why incantations are so effective and so powerful. The way this works is it actually reprograms your unconscious mind by giving it a physical experience, because we're getting the body involved. And this is why I always tell you guys that I have a psyche manifestation method. In Alchemy of Manifestation, I teach you that because it's really mind, body, and soul. It isn't just mental. It isn't just energetic. We really have to hit this from all different areas. And when you do that, that's when it becomes so potent and so powerful and so effective. And when you change your body language, your vocal tone, and your energetic state, you actually start changing the self-image that you have of yourself. Now remember, we've already talked about, and you've heard me say 1,000,001 times, but your identity is the overarching piece of transformation. So if we can say something that is in a really powerful and confident tone while feeling really powerful and confident in our energy and in our body by changing our physical stance, that's when, if we keep doing this over and over again, we aren't just hitting this at a conscious level, which a lot of affirmations are trying to scratch at that surface. We are going into your unconscious to reprogram it, and we're going right into the identity piece to start changing your identity, because all of these three factors together are going to really allow you to change how you see yourself, because you aren't just visualizing something. You aren't just saying something out loud. You're really calibrating to a whole new version of yourself. And this is like anchoring on crack, because it's not just you holding your knuckle to have a physical experience. This is you deciding the physiology that you want to be in, speaking it into existence, and declaring that it is there because you are embodied in it with your posture, with your vocal tone, with your energy. This is something, remember, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen. So the more that your body, your mind, and the words that you're speaking and your energy are in alignment with this whole new version of yourself, you're actually tricking your mind to believe that you are this new version of yourself, because in that moment, while you're doing that, there is nothing to tell it otherwise. You've probably heard of how when people stand in the Superman or Superwoman position, that they actually start feeling more confident, and studies have shown that this is true. Why is that? Because they're changing their stance. They're standing more confidently. How are they carrying themselves? They're standing upright. Think about people who are really successful. They always carry themselves and present themselves well, not just in the way that they're dressed and in their appearance, but in the way they carry themselves, their posture. They're upright. They are walking with pride. Their head is up. They're looking around. They're making eye contact with people. They're smiling. They're in the moment. When you think of somebody who isn't really successful, oftentimes or they're not confident, they're kind of hunched over, and they're really quiet, and they're not really making eye contact with anyone, and they're walking like this but looking at the ground. This is a prime example of how your posture really does affect so much more than just your body. The way you are carrying yourself moment by moment, the way you are standing, the way you're sitting, the way you're taking care of your body has so much more impact that I think the new age manifestation community is really giving it credit. And when you understand, if you shift the state that you're in, if you shift your energy, if you shift your posture, if you start speaking differently, even if you change nothing about yourself, if you didn't change the clothes that you were wearing, people would respond to you differently, because your energy would be more potent. You would be standing out. People would notice you. Whereas you could be walking around with this really closed off energy and not really confident, and you would just blend right in. This is the power of really seeing how mind, body, and soul we can really affect changes. Even though we've already talked about how effective this is and how potent it is, even typically in NLP, incantations are not just used by themselves. So an incantation encompasses those three pieces that we were talking about. But there's a few ways for you to really make your incantations even more effective. And this is why I'm always saying just saying affirmations is not the vibe. Because even think about how much more powerful doing an incantation is versus saying an affirmation, understanding the science behind it, the physiology behind it, understanding the depth that a lot of the trendy teachings are missing, along with the incantations to really, really affect the change and anchor in this new identity. So one of the things that you can do while you are getting into the physiology of your most confident and powerful self, changing your body language while you're changing your vocal tone, you can also be doing that and at the same time visualizing your desired reality. So that way you are literally feeling into the version of you who's living in that reality and seeing what that reality actually looks like for you. The more you do this, the faster you're going to be living in that reality, because again, you are tricking your brain to think that you're actually there right now because you're projecting it in your mind and you're feeling it in your body. So you're literally shifting the reality and the version of you that you are in this moment now to anchor into that version of you. So visualization is one of the most powerful things you can be doing while you are using incantations. Now, another thing that you can do is called ritualization. And that means when you do this at the same time every single day. So maybe you incorporate this into your morning routine, or maybe you incorporate it into your nightly routine, but not that you just do it once, but every single day now in your morning, this is something that you do, or every single night in your nightly routine, this is something that you do. That actually shows that you are committed to this new identity, to this desired reality, to feeling this new way, to living as this new version of yourself. And the more you do it at the same time, the more you're actually teaching your body and your mind that this is a time when we go to this place. So you're really calibrating to it faster because you're doing it daily. When you're doing it daily, you are also reinforcing with repetition. And repetition is how it actually becomes automatic for you. So remember, the whole point of this is so that you're manifesting on autopilot. So if you are repeatedly getting into this new state, seeing this new reality, speaking it into existence, feeling into it, believing that it's already here now, and you keep doing it religiously and repetitively, that's when you're actually going to install this new coding and this new programming into your cellular DNA, into your brain. So that way, this becomes just this new state of being for you. A lot of people sleep on repetition. A lot of people are trying to do this mindset work, but they aren't doing it every single day, and they're allowing a lot of in-between time. And the way that mindset work is so potent is every single day. Combining the power of mindset work with the power of energetics, we are really becoming the masters of our mind and the masters of our emotions. And when we do this, we become the creators of our reality, because a lot of people are allowing their circumstances to dictate how they feel, what they think about, how they move throughout their day, the identity that they have, and they're letting life happen to them. But when you decide that you're going to be in your power, you're going to be confident, you're going to be abundant, you're going to be happy no matter what's happening outside of you, because you know how to master your mind, you know how to master your emotions, that's when you're going to be light years ahead of other people, because you stopped reacting to what was happening outside of you and you started generating how you wanted to feel, the identity that you wanted to have, how you wanted to think, no matter what. And that's when you literally master manifestation. So what I want you to do is I want you to stand up if you're physically able to. I want you to stand up, and I want you to stand in the Superman or Superwoman position, standing up tall with your head upright, chest out, with your hands on your hips. And I want you to stand there, and I want you to stand there for 2 minutes and to really feel like your most confident and powerful self. Like, imagine you are Superman and you just saved the world, Superwoman, and you just saved the world. And I want you to stand there, and while you're getting into that energy and while you're standing there for 2 minutes, 2 whole minutes, I am the most powerful version of myself. And say it in your most powerful voice. You might even startle yourself because you might not be used to talking in this voice, but I want you to let it out. And then I want you to say, I embody confidence in every area of my life. Say it as the most confident version of yourself. If you need that repeated, it'll be dropped down below in the description so you can just read it out. But I want you to stand in this position, really feel like your most powerful self, feel like your most confident self, and I want you to say those 2 phrases repeatedly while you're standing like that. And I want you to feel more powerful and more confident every single time that you say it. This is how you're going to start saying your affirmations from now on. You don't necessarily always have to be in the Superman pose or the Superwoman pose, but I want you to be mindful of how you're carrying yourself. I want you to get into the energy like you are that person right now. I want you to visualize it in your head. I want you to do this over and over again every single day. I want you to genuinely feel into this so that way you really start shifting. And if you're unsure of like what to use the affirmations you've been using. But instead of just writing them down or saying them in like out loud or in your head without any emotion, you're going to make sure that you're shifting your physiology entirely. Your energy, your body, your voice, you are going to show up differently while you're doing these incantations. And I want you to let me know if you're like, oh my God, yes. Like this is what was missing when I was saying these affirmations. It felt like there was just like something out of alignment, but I didn't know what it was. Let me know if you're like, oh my God, this was amazing. This was so good. I'm so excited for this one because I know that this is so different than what you're seeing on social media about how you can manifest. And like, this one's going to be a game changer.